Hi there guys, my name is Daniel Davis, but you can call me Daniel Dre, that is my tag on Instagram. I'm here to answer a couple of questions about photography for Upcoming Brandz. So here we go. So my favourite location that I have shot at was at the skate park in Croxley Green in Hertfordshire. It's got great lighting, well it had great lighting, during the weather that we went there last year during the first lockdown. I went there with a couple of my friends, and the skate park it's like monotone grey all over, so it's very clean, there's no graffiti, and it's just a really sick location to do a couple of streetwear photo shoots. Bright colours, shorts, hoodies, cool trainers, things like that. Just makes everything pop. And yeah, it was just like a really cool. I thought it was really cool. I thought it just was a really cool background, basically. Yeah. So I've collaborated with a couple brands. I've done some events photography, food photography, and cocktail photography for this bar and restaurant company called The Florist underneath the New World Trading Company. I got that job via working there. I'm a bartender there. But yeah, I've done some photography through them as well, and that's really cool. That's been a really great experience. I actually got invited to this clothing brand. I was allowed to tag along for this clothing brand photography photo shoot because my friend Alex, he was being model for them. They're called @seekLondon.ldn. They're really cool clothing brand. You guys should check them out. They pride themselves on producing a lot of BAME and diverse models, which is actually very good. So that was a really cool shoot, and I'm grateful to be able to have been able to tag along and take some photos alongside their photographers as well. That was a really good experience. So shout out to them. I've also done a couple collaborations through people DMing me on Instagram and DMing my friends through Instagram as well. Hubs and Wheels, which is like a hat brand. They DM my friend James, and Hannah Martin, which is what they DM'd him as well. And so I was obviously his photographer, so we've done a couple of collaborations for that as well. But got some really cool shots for them too. So to help get models and people I've just met and doing photo shoots feel comfortable, I would first of all, I've got quite a comfortable personality. I think first impressions are very important, and it's important to be respectful to people. It's important to make everyone have good vibes and have good energy and a good environment around you. So having that in mind, when you meet new people, especially if they're working for you, especially if money's involved, it's always just good to create a good environment. So being polite, being respectful, and just being a positive person, while they're, doing modelling and they're out here in the public, it's always a good vibe to have. And that's what I try to do. I always like to play music as well, because, I love playing music. It's got to be in the vibe of the environment. So having music to just just create the vibe of the photo shoot, just relax for everybody. And it's always good to research shoots as well, when you're trying to think of poses for models. Some models are really good at their own poses and stuff that you don't need to say too much, they know what they're about to do. But some models need some direction, so if you've got a couple of mod poses in mind, then it's good to direct them and just produce some really good content. So my process for a really good shoot, any shoot really. So first of all, got to gather your gear. So you got to make sure your battery's charged, or your battery's charged, if it's for your camera, or it's for your external flashes, or if it's for your your on-camera flashes, anything like that. Make sure everything's charged up. Then also make sure your battery is your SD card's memory is free. You make sure your cameras are or your memory. Make sure all your memory is backed up before you go to your next shoot as well, so then you have a free SD card, so then you're not, running out of any memory and stuff. So make sure everything's backed up as well. And yeah, make sure you've got everything that you need for the shoot. Is it a natural lighting one? Is it artificial one? Do you have the equipment that you need? And do you have the lenses that you need as well? Just make sure you got everything, all your gear. Second of all, transport. how you're going to get to the shoot. Do you drive? Do you take travel transport? How's your model getting there? Make sure everyone knows how they're going to get there. And make sure everyone gets there on time. Or if you as a photographer is going to get there early, make sure you know what time you need to get there, so you can maybe scout the location. But yeah, I would make sure you guys do that as well. Constant communication as well with the models and everyone that's involved. Make sure everyone's comfortable with what they're doing, where they're going, and make sure they know, like, 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away. Like, make sure there's constant communication just in case there's any errors in the process of getting there and stuff. Just so everyone knows you know. You don't want to be unprofessional about these things, so you've got to make sure everything's copacetic. And clothes as well, you know. Are you going to be in a shoot, or are you just going to take pictures? If you're going to be in a shoot, what are you wearing, right? I love to, like, if I'm going to be in a shoot at some point, then I'll make sure I'm wearing what I want to wear and for the shoot. And so, you know, that's that. But if I'm not going to be in a shoot, then I want to be comfortable. Where am I? I'm outside, you know, dress accordingly. So, you know, get your boots in, get your coats in, whatever. But if you're doing like club photography, I'd say make sure you wear a lot of black. So you want to blend in with the background so you're not too noticeable. So you can get a lot of cool pictures like that as well. You know, really just a dress for the occasion. And just think about it, you know. Check the weather too, just in case. So you might need some stuff for that as well. If I was going to work with any brand, any model for a shoot, personally, I love working with music artists. I really, really want to work with music artists a lot. I love music. This is my soul. Hip hop, R&B, rap, all that stuff from America, UK, Australia, like all that stuff. I love it. So I really want to be able to make timeless photos with these timeless people. And so I would love to work with people like, you know, ASAP Rocky, Photogenic, you know, Dave, you know, all these drill rappers in the UK and Australia and stuff. Like, they're just all these photogenic people that make music and stuff. Like, I really want to make some really cool pictures and photo shoots with them, just make some really sick ones. And obviously do this for the brands that they support and sponsor, their own merch, you know, or anything. Like, I'm here for it, for real. So my favourite model, so I'm going to get in trouble for this because, you know, having favourites is, you know, my friends are going to get all testy about it. But I would say my favourite model, or models in a sense, are just my friends, really. You know, shout out to all my friends, James especially. You know, we've been taking pictures together for like a very long time, and we have been, you know, leveling up our skills ever since. And the best thing about working with your friends, and my friends especially, is that everyone's photogenic in one way or another. Everyone's like, the vibes are always the same, so we always know like what we're going for and what kind of vibes we're trying to create and such, and with the clothing, with the background. And it's just easy, you know, to direct them and stuff. And, you know, for editing as well, like, you know, I always make sure my friends always tell me, give me honest feedback, and so, but I know like I already know what kind of editor they would like as well, and also I put my own spin on it as well. So it's like a good environment to have, create a good environment to have be in. So yeah, definitely my friends. The camera that I decided to use for my shoots I use the Canon 90D at the moment. I used to have a kit lens with those as well. But I bought that camera because I've done a lot of research, and it said that it was good for beginners when it comes down to doing portrait photography and wildlife photography, you know, when it comes to, and it's 90D as well, so it's the newest D in the series. And it's just really good, like, it's really good, high good quality, because I want to be able to be on par with a lot of the photographers that are out nowadays, you know. So I really just wanted to get a really good body of a camera. And then I recently was able to buy a Sigma 35mm art lens as well, 1.4 aperture, really good image quality. It is beautiful, like, you know, and it's on par with like a lot of the expensive ones in like Canon these days as well. But like, it's really quite on the cheaper side, especially depending on where you buy it from. And it's really good. It's a wide angle lens, obviously, and it's really, really good for like portrait photography, and obviously getting a bit of the background in there as well for landscape photography as well. So it's really, really useful, and I've been loving it ever since. And you'll see how it looks, obviously, in these pictures that I take. So yeah. Why I've like been inspired to do photography. So I really want to make animal documentaries. That's like my one of my number one goals in life. And also being like a very creative director when it comes to like taking pictures for music artists as well. Like I really want to do that as well. So wanting to do those two things, I've wanted to be able to learn as much as I can about the production side of creating good visual content, you know, and that comes down to learning about, you know, what kind of camera do you use for certain different looks, you know, what kind of lenses do you use for certain different looks, what kind of lighting, whether it's artificial or natural, what kind of lighting do you use, what kind of editing styles do you use, how do you edit this and that, you know, things like that. I really just want to learn everything I can about these type of things, so then I can really put my vision that I've got in my mind like out there and make it as beautiful as possible. Like as a photographer, when you look at your pictures, you need to have like a very good eye of detail, and so if it's not looking the way that you envisioned it, then you need to change it at some, you know what I mean, you need to make it better. And so I want to have all the tools at my all this experience and tools at my disposal to be able to make it as perfect to my vision as possible. So yeah. The places I've loved, I've always dreamed of having a location shoot. I would have always loved to go to America, and I've always loved to go to Japan. America because like I feel like America is like my second home. The vibes there are amazing. You know, from like New York to LA, places like that. You know, the looks that they have there, paired with those different type of fashion that they have there, I think I can like make some really good content. You know, from like the long roads with the palm trees and like some really cool streetwear with the cars, low riders, the beaches there, like the sun looks beautiful. Compared to like Japan, like I'm an anime fan, so I love the rural stuff. I love the temples and the rice fields and the really ancient samurai like decors, things in there. Paired with the really modern stuff in like Tokyo, like with the high contrast with the neon lights and you know the really modern environment that they have there, like paired with the fashion as well, like it looks sick, and I would love to just create some really cool content from there as well. One photographer that I really admire on social media, like, is this guy called Josh Farias. He is called at Mid Jordan on Instagram, and he's like the creative director for Tory Lanez. If you go check out his stuff, his photography, like the things he's like directed, things like that, it's sick. It's legendary. This is what I mean about when it comes to making some like legendary content. Every single picture bangs. The people that he's taking pictures of, like Tory Lanez, Lil Wayne, Kalani, like all these cool rappers and music artists, like the vibes he's able to show through these pictures is sick, and that's what I want to be able to do too. Like I want to be able to produce a vibe, a very sick and unique vibe for these people, for anybody, and make it timeless, like, but like in a really cool edgy way, you know, that kind of like expresses my own like my own personality, but with my own vibe, with my own taste in music, like just, you know, showing that off in the things I create.